If you've been searching for something new and exciting to play, but don't want to deal with the usual junk filling up the app stores, you're in the right place. We have spent the last few weeks testing every major release to handpick only the absolute best titles that are actually worth your time and storage space. These games offer some of the most impressive experiences we've seen recently, and every single one of them is completely free to download. We've got a packed list for you today that you definitely don't want to miss, so let's get right into the countdown. Here are the top 10 best new free mobile games, starting with number 10. Kicking things off at number 10 is Drive, and honestly, the vibes here are just immaculate. It feels like you've been dropped straight into a 1970s car chase movie, complete with that grainy film aesthetic and a soundtrack that makes you want to wear aviators indoors. What I actually appreciate is how smooth the controls feel. You're just tapping to steer, but the tension really ramps up when you're trying to thread the needle through traffic, while your fuel gauge is screaming at you. It can feel a bit samey after a long session, since there isn't a final destination to reach. But for those moments when you just want to zone out and look cool while breaking a few virtual traffic laws, it's a total winner. Coming in at number 09, we've got Mega Machines Heavy Simulator, and this one is surprisingly satisfying if you've ever wanted to operate those massive industrial rigs. The detail on the machines is actually pretty crazy. You can see all the pistons and gears working as you move the arms or rotate the chassis. I spent way too much time just trying to perfectly load a dump truck without spilling anything, and honestly, the physics here feel heavy and realistic, not floaty like most mobile titles. It's definitely a slower-paced experience, so don't expect high-speed action, but there's something weirdly therapeutic about completing a complex dig or moving tons of earth perfectly. It's a solid choice if you want something that requires a bit of focus and precision. Coming in at number 08 is Riot Ball, and this is honestly the perfect pick if you're tired of standard sports sims and want something with a bit more punch. It's a stylized, high-energy brawler where the goal is to score, but the strategy is mostly about how you handle the opposition. The physics are surprisingly tight, which makes landing a perfect shot feel really rewarding, and the matches are short enough that it never feels like a grind. It's one of those games that's easy to learn but has enough depth in the power-ups and character moves to keep you coming back for just one more round. If you want something fast and competitive, you definitely shouldn't sleep on this one. At number 07, we have Racing Zone, and the first thing that grabbed me was the cockpit view. Usually in these games, you're just looking at the back of a car, but here, you're right in the driver's seat, which makes weaving through traffic feel way more intense. The city is surprisingly large and open, and while the physics aren't quite professional level, they have enough weight to make cornering feel realistic. It's a great pick for when you just want to choose a car, hit the highway, and see how long you can go without a massive pileup. Moving to number 06, Weltkrieg 1 Firestorm is a massive change of pace from the usual modern combat titles. The trench warfare atmosphere is seriously gritty, and I found myself actually having to use cover and think about my movements instead of just sprinting everywhere. The weapons feel mechanical and heavy, and there's something really satisfying about the slower, more tactical rhythm of the matches. It definitely stands out because it doesn't try to be another clone of the big franchises. It leans into that harsh, old-school combat style that feels both unique and challenging. In the number 05 spot is Zombie Island, and this is where things get a bit crazy. Instead of running away from the undead, you're basically a one-man demolition derby in a massive monster truck. The physics are the star of the show here. The way the suspension reacts when you're bouncing over obstacles and crushing everything in your path feels incredibly tactile. It's not a deep story-driven experience, but as a high-octane experience where you just focus on upgrading your rig to cause more destruction, it's addictively fun for short bursts. Coming in at number 4 is YouTuber's Life 3. And for anyone who's ever been curious about the creator lifestyle, this version adds a ton of new layers. The social aspect is way more developed now, so you aren't just clicking buttons in a room, you're actually out there collaborating and building a brand. I really liked the balance between managing your daily energy and the new live events that keep the gameplay loop from feeling repetitive. It's a very polished experience that captures the highs and lows of building a channel, making it a perfect fit for a list like this. Getting into our top 3, we have Parasite Zero, and this one is just straight up uncomfortable in the best way possible. Instead of being the hero, you're this evolving creature trying to break out of a lab, and the way you grow and adapt to overcome obstacles feels incredibly rewarding. The atmosphere is what really sells it. It's dark, tense, and the sound design makes every movement feel heavy and deliberate. I found myself genuinely stressed out trying to navigate some of the later levels, but that's exactly what makes it so hard to put down. It's a unique, polished experience that feels like it belongs on a much bigger screen. Taking the number 02 spot is SVS Fantastic, and the variety here is honestly staggering. One moment you're managing complex systems and building up your base of operations, and the next you're right in the middle of intense, high-stakes combat with these massive mechanical units called armoformers. What I really loved is how these two halves actually matter to each other. What you do while building directly impacts how you survive the action. It's one of those rare titles that keeps your brain engaged with strategy while still giving you that adrenaline hit when things get loud. The scale of the world is impressive, and it just feels like there's always something new to discover. And finally, at number 01, we have Prime Rush, which is easily the most polished and hyped title on the list right now. The first thing you'll notice is how fast and fluid everything feels. The matches are designed to be quick, around 10 minutes, so it's perfect for a session while you're on the go. There's this constant tension of trying to secure your loot and actually making it out alive, which makes every encounter feel like it actually matters. The character abilities add a layer of creativity to the encounters that I haven't seen done this well in a long time. If you only download one thing from this list, make it this one. It's the total package when it comes to modern mobile gaming.
That's it for today's countdown. Drop a comment and let me know which of these games you're hitting install on first, or if I missed a title that belongs on the list. If this helped you find your next favorite game, make sure to like and subscribe to stay ahead of the newest releases. And for even more massive recommendations, go check out this video about the top 20 best new mobile games of 2026, Android and iOS.